Tudor from Polyhedron Collider, and we're here at the UK Games Expo 2016. I'm here with John Yanni from Gen42 Games. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
You're the company famous for Hive.
That's right, yeah.
Probably one of the biggest games actually around.
It's pretty big.
Game.
It's pretty big, yeah.
But you got something new this year?
Yeah, Tatsu is my newest game. I'm really excited about this one because people are saying it could be the next Hive, which I'm finding it very hard to believe that. But yeah, I love it, and everyone who's played it really liked the game, so that's really good. So I can explain how the game works.
So what's the basic premise and how does it work?
So basically, it's basically loose on an old Japanese legend of two Dragon Lord armies locked in combat, and they're fighting over the princesses, the last of 8 princesses, for her hand in marriage.
Okay.
And the villagers have locked them with a wizard in this combat, this circle of combat. And it is continued to this day. The princess is dead, but they're still in battle, and that's basically where this game comes from. But it's a strategy game, dice driven. Okay. Each person will have a set of dragons, so they will have 3 water dragons. So each one will have the water dragons. You'll have 4 vine dragons. And 2 fire dragons, and you take it in turns to roll your die and move your pieces around the board. Black will move clockwise and white will move anti-clockwise. So if you see the dragon's head and tail, it actually shows you which direction you're supposed to be moving in.
Oh right, okay.
Okay. So if I roll the dice, I can move one piece 1 space, and another piece 1, 2, 3 spaces.
Yep.
Or I can move the same piece 3 spaces. But I must take each dice separately. So move 1 die and then move again second time.
Yep.
If I land on any of these corner segments, then I recruit the dragon from my tray onto my mat. So this is my tray, and this is my mat. So here I get a blue dragon, and that goes on my mat. To bring it into the game, I must bring it in on a 1, 2, or 3. So if it's my go and I rolled that, I can bring it in on the 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So each of the different dragons has a different power. So vine dragons, if you land on your opponent's, on the outside of your opponent's piece like that, vine dragons will entangle a piece and hold it in play, so it won't be able to move. Okay. So the only way to release an entangled piece would be to roll your die and use your smallest die. So here you can move 1, but then you don't get to use with your high die. So you sacrifice the bigger die. The water dragon, if I land on the outside of one of your pieces with my water dragon, I send it back to your tray. Okay. And with the fire dragon, I will take the piece and it's off the game.
Okay.
So you never get that piece back.
Right.
Okay. Now you win if your opponent has no more pieces remaining on the arena or anywhere on his mat. You win.
Yep.
You also win is if you can destroy 1 type of your opponent's pieces. So all 4 of the vine dragons, all 3 of the water dragons, or just the 2 fire dragons, then you also win the game.
Okay.
So that's basically how the game is played.
Cool. So it's kind of similar to backgammon in many ways.
It's very similar to backgammon, except that you don't bear pieces off as you do with backgammon.
Yeah.
You continue in a circle, okay? And the 3 different powers give it a different element.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people call it backgammon the gamer's game. Sort of
right.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It is based on backgammon. That's how I designed it. In the same way, Hive is based on chess.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm taking the classics and making them, into different games. So,
okay.
Yeah. And even though people who play backgammon know there's a lot of strategy, and even though it's dice driven, you're not actually it's not really a luck game.
Yeah.
You're actually looking at the dice whatever you roll, you're making decisions on exactly what's my best option, what do I do, how do I defend myself, how do I attack. And with Tatsu, there's even more of that element in it, because you've got the 3 different powers, and there's a lot more going on the board than there is in a backgammon game.
Yeah.
And you can do things like you can block spaces, so you can only have 2 spaces in one area.
Yeah.
Backgammon will have more than 2 spaces, but here no piece can land on that space. You can go past, but you can't land on it. You can block areas, so your opponent can't get any blues out. If I block that and that, my opponent can't get any reds out completely. So it's really messing up the game.
Yeah.
I can block his entrance points, so I can stop him getting into the game. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you're actually doing as you're just moving around. Yeah.
So, of course, what people have been seeing on the video of this is the component quality, and I've got to admit, you've got some really snazzy little chips here.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, they've got that clunky.
That clipped.
Yeah. The same as Hive pieces. All my games are made have this same material.
Yeah.
Even the dice are made of this stuff. They're not as heavy, but you can actually feel it when you're actually rolling them. They're not light.
Yeah,
they're not light.
It feels different to standard dice.
Yeah.
So are these kind of things easy to make, or do they add a significant cost?
The cost of moulding is quite expensive,
right?
And the minimum orders, of course, are quite expensive because you have to. But for me, the quality outweighs the cost. Really, I really want to give quality games. If people have a game that they can play forever, and you're not going to damage the pieces, and the pieces just lovely to feel and hold, and have that real nice weight to it. And as you see, all the pieces are embossed, so they don't wear out if you're on top of each other. Just the same as Hive pieces, so you don't lose the paint on the pieces.
Yeah, very nice. I understand you've also got a version on Steam. PC
We
version.
do. It's just come out on early access.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really nice. They've done it's the same guys that did the Steam Hive version, and they've done it. Blue Line Games. They're called Blue Line Games. I'll give them a plug. They're actually brilliant. They're actually a brilliant company, and they've done a fantastic job with this one. I'm really pleased. What happens is, whenever a lot of Vine Dragon lands on top of another piece, little vines come out and then entangle it, and a Fire Dragon, as a big fire comes out and pushes the piece off the board, and it's really, they've done these little quirky animations as well. It's really nice. So I'm really pleased. It plays really well as well. So they're testing it now, ironing out a few bugs that they're finding, and hopefully they're going to launch the full game by the end of July.
Okay.
So we're going to launch. This is a soft launch in the UK. So we've launched this in the UK, but everywhere else is going to be like the end of July. So in America and Germany and Korea and other countries that we distribute to. So it'll be a bigger launch, and that's going to coincide with that. So we're going to launch the actual main.
So you've got, with the digital version, how are you finding that affecting the way the game is received and sells? Because you've got the Hive digital version, you've had that for some time.
Yeah.
I said you've come out of the gate with both a physical version and a digital version at the same time.
I kind of like it because you get the crossover. So you get people who've never played board games before, by just having a go. This looks interesting. Yeah. And then finding out it's a board game. So we get people, I bought that because I bought the Steam version. But for me, it's a great way for people to just test the game if they like it, because they're usually a lot cheaper than buying the actual physical game. And it gets a lot of people to know the game instead of just the board gamers. And Steam does really well for us. It's a great platform. And we do make money out of it as well.
There's that. Always helps. Cool. Right, well, thanks very much for that. So this is out now in the UK.
It is,
It's out now in early access on Steam.
That's right.
And we'll be seeing it in Germany, America,
and Korea and other countries about the end of July is when we kind of fully launch it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.